to be fair, I've not lived there for 10 years. So I've lived and travelled abroad. And even now, I'm technically homeless.
What? That's kind of, scary, isn't it?
I'm not living on the street.
Oh my God, it seems like forever. Finally, we have Love is Blind UK. I've been waiting for forever since I saw the first clip, so it's nice that it's finally arrived. I'm a bit concerned about the couples, though. We didn't get to see that many people. Netflix needs to give us more of the dating side of the initial, day 1, day 2, so that we get to see more couples. Why is it the producers get to just screen down to a couple of people that they want us to see? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to start off on a rant, but here we go. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind UK, Season 1, Episode 1. Right, another season of Love is Blind. Let's go. What do I think? So we have the hosts. I don't know them, Emma and Matt Willis. Or maybe I do know them and I've forgotten who they are. So they are the Nick and Vanessa of the UK version, and they're hosting, Love is Blind. It's nice to see that they have a very diverse cast. They have people of different ethnic groups. They have people of different body sizes, body weights, and it's lovely to see because it's a clear representation of the population. I like that they didn't go for the aesthetically pleasing people, size 10, size 8, and so this is amazing. And anyway, we start off with the pods. So the pods are open. The first person we get to meet is Freddie. He's 32. He's a funeral director in Manchester. He's got a brother and a sister, and his brother has Down syndrome. What do I think? He reminds me of Brennan. Or Brett. He seems to be, most probably will be that guy in a couple that will work and will barely get to see him, and then we suddenly see them say yes at the altar. That's the impression I get of him. His first conversation is with Catherine. She's 29. She's from Jersey. She's a dental nurse and she's a swim coach as well. So when Freddie talks about his brother with Down syndrome, Catherine then reveals that she also teaches children with Down syndrome to swim, which was good because I think that's something they can relate on. She also says, she likes to day drink with her friends. It's like, wow, let's go. Her next date is with Ollie. He's 32. He's a software salesman. He says he does do a lot of boxing, and he's a lookalike to a celebrity. And I went, here we go, Megan Fox. Anyway, he says he's been told he looks like Craig Davis. I don't see it, but then I don't remember what Craig Davis looks like because since I haven't seen him in a long time, and he's not one of my favorite musicians. What do I think about this guy? He reminds me of Baptiste. Is that his name? Yeah, he reminds me of Baptiste. That's the impression that I get from him. I think he's just there for the followers, and I think he's just going to be an F-boy, and that's what I see him being throughout the season. He might surprise me, but I'm not holding my breath. It wouldn't be Love is Blind without the pettiness and the cattiness. Anyway, so Ollie then goes on a date with Demi. I loved Demi. She's 30. She's from London. She's a safeguarding and attendance manager. And apparently she's very sporty. But when you look at her, she doesn't look sporty. And I don't know why people keep bringing up the issue about the gym. I don't know whether it's because they want to make sure that the person that they're matching themselves with, they'll be okay when they see them. And it's like, there's no need for that. That shouldn't be part of your conversation at all, because, she does boxing, she plays football, she says she likes to eat and drink. So hopefully that sort of minimizes all his expectations of her. I think they got on very well. The only problem is now the issues start, because on Love is Blind, the problem is people are friendly before they get into the pods, and then people become territorial, because now Catherine also likes Ollie, and she's wanting to know who else likes Ollie and what did they say to Ollie and what's going on, and yet she's sitting right next to Demi, who also likes Ollie, and it's like, this is going to be oaks galore. It's reminding me of Mika and Chelsea. Chelsea has been married to Kwame for a couple of years. I think it's now 2-3 years, but still it's a bit oaks galore, and I don't know why people do that, but anyway, it's to be expected if they're dating the same people. Next up is Sabrina. She's from Belfast. She's 35. Apparently, she's a director of marketing and communication. Her grandma recently passed away, so she was really sad about that. She had a date with Steven, who's 37. He's from Birmingham, but he's now settled in London. He owns a gym, and it was cute to see that they had a lot of things in common. And it makes me question whether this is a good mix, because if you both have the same hobbies and whatever, where is going to be the difference? Where is someone going to be able sort of to tell themselves apart from their partner? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be absorbed into one person, because if you're having the same hobbies, you're doing the same thing, you also have to have things that are different. You also have to be different. You can't align on every single thing. They believe in gratitude journaling, and it's like, oh, I don't know what it is, so I don't know. She did talk about the fact that she's adventurous and she's spontaneous. So Steven said that's something that he liked. But then when he went to the guy's side, it was now becoming territorial, in the sense that he was telling the guys about his date with Sabrina. Tom said he liked Sabrina, but he didn't have the spark with her. And it's like, how do you get a spark through the wall? Maybe try and talk to someone and then talk to them a second time and then see if there's something there. A spark face to face, maybe, but not when you're not facing the person. I don't get it. Okay, then we meet Nicole. I like Nicole. I'm anxious for Nicole because I know what normally happens on these shows, especially to women of color. So I'm already on pins and needles, although I love her. Nicole is 29. She's a head of brand and marketing. So we get to see her go on 3 dates, actually. We didn't quite hear anything about her date with Johannes, who's a 31 and a resident service manager. It was very brief. And then her next date was with Sam. Well, Sam first went on a date with Jasmine, and then he went on a date with Nicole. So Sam is 31. He's a product design manager. He's recently had a nose job and he's gone to the gym in preparation for Love is Blind. And it's like, what did he look like before he had all this done? Now I want to know. Now I'm anxious. Somebody needs to let us know. He's got this fancy skincare routine. He's an uncle. He wants kids. And people, when they see him, they see F-boy vibes. And he currently lives in London. And for me, I get it. He comes across as very vain. On his date with Jasmine, they really didn't discuss much. Jasmine is 29. She's a mental health nurse. They didn't say much. But with his date with Nicole, Nicole asked him, because he sort of said to her, when you see me, you'll be happy. And it's like, I don't get it. And I think this is why she asked him, when you're 90 years old and you look back at your life, what do you want to see? And then he went, oh, a love story that will make you cry. And it's like, nah, this guy is here for the followers. He's here for the gram. He's the Andrew of the season of Love is Blind UK. Nothing about him says that he's genuine. He's just looking for a girl to trap. And then once he's trapped her, he can be on the show and he can show his ass and then he'll go home. I don't even know why you should even consider him. It seems every girl he goes on a date with is saying, remember me, my name is Sam. And it's like, well, hopefully nobody picks him. But I have a feeling even if no one picks him, the producers are going to put him in a couple just for the drama and to have a vain person on the show. Next is Nicole goes on a date with Benaiah. He's 33. He's a structural landscaper from Preston. And apparently he's self-employed, so he tends to move from job to job. And he says he does that by sort of house sitting. That makes me nervous. Because he also said he wants siege dive from Preston to Belfast or something, he said. And it makes me nervous because I like stability, especially if you're talking about wanting to start a family with someone, then have some sort of stability in your life. Don't be someone who's just floating, wherever the wind goes. Although Nicole says that's the sort of lifestyle that she likes, she likes to be in tune with herself. And it's like, girl, I don't think this guy is it for you, but if you like him, hey, if he makes you happy, I love him. I wrote for love, but this love, I think you might need to let it pass, because Nicole says she's been married before. It didn't work out, so she's really looking for specific things in a partner, and I hope she gets them. Interesting. I'm a bit confused. We didn't get that many couples on day 1. I really am. Anyway, on day 2, you have Steven go on a second date with Sabrina. He's excited that, Sabrina has given him a second go round. Their date starts off great because they both have rings from their grandparents that they've worn since their grandparents have passed away. They seem to really have a lot in common. And then suddenly they get to the conversation of children. This is always a sticky subject, be it on Marriage at First Sight, be it on Love is Blind, because people It's not just a given that someone is going to say they want children these days. Some people don't want children. Some people want to adopt. Some people want to have their own biological children. And it seems with Sabrina, she would be happy either way. I think she said either way, but she is leaning more towards the I don't want children. And Steven wants at least one biological child. And that's the sticky part. And it's really sad because I think when it comes to family, this is something that should not be negotiable. If you want children, stick to your stance. If you don't want children, stick to your stance. Because the moment you get someone to cross over to one side, there is always going to be that sort of hatred of, you made me do something that I didn't want to do. Either you're going to have children and it's going to be a problem raising those children, and then the other partner is going to be upset that this is why I didn't want children, now I'm stuck in this situation. Or the one who wanted children is going to be stuck in a situation whereby the other partner doesn't want children, so they opt not to have children, but later on in life have regrets because they always wanted a child and now they regret not having a child or not looking for someone who wanted children. And so it's really sad. I think the moment Sabrina realized that this was a sticking point for, Steven, you could tell she wanted to backtrack, but I don't think she should backtrack. If that's her stance, leave it at that and keep it moving. You will find your person. If you do, amazing. If you don't, still amazing. And then you have Sam go on a second date. He went on a second date with Jasmine. I don't know why Jasmine gave him a second date. He's giving me Shaq vibes from season 1 of Love is Blind. He's giving me Shaq vibes. Someone who's very vain and someone who's there just for the followers and to sort of build onto his next career, because at the moment he's a product design manager. I wouldn't be surprised if he's there to try and promote stuff and try and open up a different sort of business for himself, because the fact that he keeps going on about vain stuff doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why he can't read the room, and I don't know why he cannot just be genuine and open with someone and not give them the PC answers that he thinks they want to hear. So after her date with Sam, Jasmine went on a date with Bobby. He's 33. He's a luxury shopping guide on a cruise ship. He lives in Stoke-on-Trent. And so he does travel a lot. He says he was in Mexico for a couple of months last year. And for me, what do I think? I think if Jasmine is not careful, she's going to find herself in a hole, because it seems the people that she's shortlisting, or the people that we've seen her date, none of them for me is it. That's what I'm going to say. None of them is it for me, just because I feel like they are people that are there for a career change, more or less. The people that are there for a career change, and I don't think either one of them is good enough for her. That's just my opinion. I think she needs to go back to the dating pool. And sadly, because I understand with Love is Blind, they normally start with 15 people and then they stream it down and they stream it down as they stream it down as the days go by, because everybody's sort of asked to shortlist from 15 all the way until they get to their final 2. And then from their final 2, they decide who they want to propose to. So sadly for me, I think none of the 2 is good enough for Jasmine, because she wants children. Sam is just there and is just saying what he feels people want to hear, and is just there for the attention. He's the same guy as Andrew from Love is Blind. I think it was season 5 or something, and he's just in a different font in the UK version. That's my opinion. You have Benaiah go on another date with Nicole. I hope, fingers crossed, that the producers are not looking for Cameron and what's her name? Oh my God, and Lauren's situation. I hope that's not what they're aiming for, because they do have a lot of things in common, and it's nice to see that they've had we've actually seen a bit more of them communicating. It seems they really are digging deep, because he said he's a nomad. He moves from place to place. So I like the fact that she asked him that. So when you get married, do you see yourself settling down somewhere, or are you going to continue to just be hopping from place to place to place? And he says he had a difficult childhood, and I think this is why he can never settle in one place. And maybe if they're going to say yes at the altar, if he proposes, from the altar, they need to find their way straight to therapy. straight to therapy. They look like they'll be a great couple. When you look at them physically, they don't look like they're each other's types, because one is this stunning, beautiful black lady, and the other one is a handsome looking guy, but he looks more like a hippie. And so I don't know how that will work out. But then with appearances, I always say she could give him the black wife makeover. She could get him to get his hair chopped. He could change his wardrobe and he'll be the man that she needs, because they seem to align on everything else. So I really hope if he proposes, because I think in one of the shots I saw a ring on her finger, and the producers, I think, realized it too late and told her to hide it. And then you see her sort of try to hide her hand. So if he does propose, I hope they go to therapy, because she seems to be understanding of the fact that he's open. This is the difference between this guy and Sam. He's open to discussing the difficult conversations, and he's not just giving her the answers that she feels she wants to hear, which I really love and I live for. So you have Sabrina sitting in the women's lounge, sort of saying that she really likes Steven, but her biggest concern is that she doesn't want children and he wants children. And it's like, okay, so what are we doing about it? What do I think? I think this is tricky. I think if she doesn't want children, then she should tell him, and she should leave it at that. Just because you like someone, you'd rather be honest with them and leave it while you're still in good books than for you to lie to them and say you really want children when you know for a fact that you don't want children. She doesn't want children. She said she doesn't want children. As much as she likes him, I think they would both respect each other better or more if they didn't sort of lie to one another and pretend like they wanted what the other person didn't want. Anyway, they then go in on a date, and obviously this is a hot point for them. So they bring it up, and he's saying, I really want children. This is something that I've really wanted, and I see myself having, because I think I would make a great dad. Which is entitled to feel that way. She sort of says, well, I am, 35. So if I were to have children, it would be at 39. And I don't think it would be easy for me to have children. So I would need to have, a surrogate, and then would go through surrogacy and that sort of thing. And it's like, or we can do adoption. And it's like, let us not have an I will or we will. Let us have a concrete plan. I would personally didn't see myself wanting children, but if this is what you want, I am open to the idea of us having children. Obviously, by the time I feel like we'll be ready to have children, I might not be able to give you any children, so I'm open to the idea of surrogacy. So I can either try and conceive through IVF. If I fail, we'll go through surrogacy and we'll see how we go. But then at that point, he'll be 42. He's 2 years older than her, so he'll be 41, 42, and I don't know how many years they'll have to try before they eventually conceive, because it's not going to be a given that the first time they go around it, they will have children. I think she has her own issues. I think this is the reason why she doesn't want biological children, in the sense that she eventually reveals that her dad, or the person she thought was her dad, is not her dad. Her dad apparently moved to Europe. I think she said to Spain or Italy or somewhere. And so she only found out when she was older that actually the man that she grew up thinking was her dad is not her dad. And her dad left her, and her mom didn't tell her until she was old enough to understand. So I think this is where her issues with, becoming a parent come from. Do I think they're a good match? I think on most things they align, but I think on the major issue that brings a lot of problems into marriages, this is where they're stuck. And I think this is something they shouldn't just, let's fly by the seat of my pants just because I really love this person and we'll see what happens when the time comes. No, I don't think that's a good look. I think they need to have a concrete idea of what they want to do, and they need to go with that. I don't know. That's just my opinion. It seems Steve is happy because he's even telling the guys he's happy they've been able to resolve and address the issues. It's like, I don't think so. He also speaks about somebody he dated, which is a red flag for me, that he dated this person who was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And then that person one day woke up and told him that, no, I am tired of us. I just want to focus on my health, so we need to break up. So they broke up, and he never checked to find out what was happening with that person. He doesn't even know whether they're still alive. And it's like, make that make sense? one would think you'd keep tabs, even if not directly with that person. If they're family members, if they're friends, you just check, how are they doing? I hope they're fine. I was just checking, please keep me updated. And that's it. You're not in a romantic relationship, but you're just showing that you empathize and you understand. And this is someone you said you saw as the one you're going to settle down with. So show it. Show that you care, show that you're human and you're understanding. I think I'm going to need to have a meeting with reality TV producers, because somebody needs to tell them that love triangles and squares ain't it. They need to stop. They need to come up with more sort of creative ways of sort of engaging the viewers without love triangles or love squares, because now we've got a love square. So you have Catherine go on a date with Freddie. I liked Freddie. I thought he got along very well with Catherine. I thought they had great banter. I thought it was a very in-depth sort of conversation, which was more emotional than anything. So for her to jump from Freddie and go to Ollie and be flirting with Ollie and being all hypersexual with Ollie doesn't make sense to me. And suddenly she's now in this love triangle, which looks like a love square, because Freddie, she hasn't broken off things with him. I do not get. On his part, Ollie's saying he's stuck in between Demi and Catherine, because Catherine is giving more of a sexual vibe, whereas Demi is sort of a bit more difficult to read. And it's like, oh God, if only they knew the person they were fighting over, a Craig Davis Batiste lookalike. I don't get it. I really don't. Demi, I think she should have tried other guys. I don't know what she really found that she really likes in this guy, because nothing about Ollie seems in depth. Yeah, they had the conversation and they were sort of talking, and she was asking him, if I'm feeling low, how would you treat me? And he sort of joked about, going away for the weekend with his friends. And then he sort of came back to it and said he'd give her hugs and forehead kisses. And it's like, well, I don't think that's it. I think if someone is feeling down, maybe try and ask them, do they want to discuss what's worrying them? Do they want you to do anything before you start giving forehead hugs and for kisses and forehead hugs? Because maybe that's not what they want. So these guys seem to have studied a master book and are sort of trying to sort of regurgitate whatever they've read or whatever they've studied or whatever they've heard that women want to hear. Yes, everybody loves forehead kisses, but there's more to a relationship than that. If I'm feeling low, what else are you offering me outside of those things? Make it make sense. Just make it make sense. Don't, sugarcoat me with silly stuff with fluff that does not make sense. So you then have the girls sitting in the ladies' lounge having a conversation, Demi and Catherine, and suddenly it seems like Catherine is finally aware that Demi is the other person, and she's sort of trying to sort of suss out Demi to see what exactly is going on with her connection with Ollie. How does she feel about him? And it's like, this is giving me Mika and Chelsea on their season sort of fighting over Kwame. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I don't get why someone, if you're really after a connection that's stronger than just physical appearance, why then go and have this conversation about things that are not necessary? Why? What makes you think that's appropriate? Why would you think Love is Blind is the place for you to be hypersexual at, when it's a place of getting to know your partner on a deeper level? I don't get it. I'm surprised. So Steven and Sabrina are the first couple to go through to the proposal stage, because normally on Love is Blind, the couple that propose to one another first are the one that are going to be the gold standard of the season, and they're the ones that are going to have this, say yes on wedding day. And it's like, I think there's a lot of elephants in the room that they should have addressed before they got to proposal. I think the producers should have shown us a lot more content before we accept that, these people are ready to propose. I don't know what I missed. He wrote her a poem and then he proposed. And then we're left on a cliffhanger, and it's like, why? Just let us know. Just let us know if she's going to say yes. Tell us she's going to say yes. I think this is going to be a roller coaster. It's reminding me of Nick and Danielle from season 2 of Love is Blind USA, just because they had a lot of issues that they didn't address before they got married, and this is why they are divorced. I don't know whether they ever decided to give it a second go around, but I don't think these two people are ready to get married. That's just my opinion, and I will stick to that. So I can't wait for episode 2 to see exactly what happened. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from Love is Blind USA. Thank you guys. Bye.